Welcome, Harnish fans, Harnish enemies, those of you who just stumbled upon this video. If you're in my neck of the woods, it's snowing pretty heavy outside. The roads are getting bad, and what better way to spend the next 10 or so minutes of your life than trapped watching me on your TV or your cell phone or your iPad for the very first, the inaugural episode of the Harnish So Dark Metalcast. That's right, episode 1 happening right now. What is the Harnish Metalcast, you might ask? It's a good question. So I'm not really sure yet. I'm still trying to figure that out. But you know what I think it is. I've thought a lot about the YouTube channel lately because it has been growing. A couple weeks ago we hit 300 subscribers. Right now we're at the brink of 400 subscribers, and special shout out to my son Chesley. I think he's been recruiting some new fans for me on the Xbox. But you know, I can make social media posts all day and it just starts to feel redundant, and it feels like I'm cramming things down your throat, and that's not what I want to do. And I really believe in YouTube as a medium or like a vehicle to get things out there to folks, to give them a chance to check you out. So had this idea and going to start doing some of these. I don't know if it'll be weekly or bi-weekly or whatever, but just some extra content for the channel and to keep you up to date on everything that's going on. So this first episode will be pretty short and sweet. Going to cover some things on some killers I'll talk about in a minute, and some things for the book that are coming up. But something else I will mention that I want to do, if you've ever been to my website, harnishmusic.rocks, which I will put in the description below, you've probably seen on there I have a like a special section for the local music scene. So I haven't done anything in there in a while, but what I did in the past was some bands that that we got the chance to play live with, or that I interacted with in some way. Got a hold of their albums or listened to their albums, or you know, just checked them out and wrote up a review on them, just kind of a promotional thing for those bands. And I really love doing that because the marketing side of things, being an independent musician, and now I'm finding it's the same thing being an independent author. That sounds funny saying, but independent anything, any kind of art, it is so hard just to get your stuff out there for somebody to see it. Take out of the mix for a minute whether it's good or not good. Ultimately, I mean, you need to be good to succeed, but just to get somebody to see it is really difficult. So if I can help in any way promote some of the extremely talented people that I've had the good fortune to meet or play with in these past several years, I want to keep doing that. So expect some of that on here. If you've got something you want me to see, or you want me to look at or review or talk about, DM me, email me, get a hold of me, and we'll set something up. So as far as this episode and what's coming up for me, Some Killers is on the horizon. That is the next Harnish album. It'll probably be out in, I would say, late spring or maybe early summer. We'll probably launch it with a music video. Don't know which track off there yet, but have some ideas rolling. And it's a Harnish album, true and proper, but the vision for this album, the concept from the beginning, was like a guest artist project. So some of these local musicians and things that I've been talking about, I had the idea to, you know, invite as many of them as I could to do guest spots on each track. So that could be a guitar solo. There's duets on there. It's the first album with not only a second singer but a female vocalist. There could be a couple female vocalists on there. So there's just all kinds of cool stuff. A guest bassist. I'll go into it in more detail on a future episode and talk about the individual contributors on there, but it's really turned out to be something special. It sounds like a Harnish album. It feels like a Harnish album. but it covers such a wide array of genres, and it goes places I just simply haven't been able to go before. So it is really cool. I think you're going to love it. We got some more work to do on it. We still got to lay down the drums. We still have a couple of guest part things we're tweaking on some final tracks, but it's almost there. It's really close, and I couldn't be more excited to get that in front of you. So more on that to come. Probably talk a little bit more about the book right now. So if you're not aware, I have written a horror novel, and that releases on February 12th. It is called The Adversary. I would say it's a horror western with splashes of sci-fi and true crime. I know it sounds like a lot of genres, just saying it, but I think it's pretty cool. I think it's pretty scary. I hope you feel the same. But it comes out on February 12th. It's going to be distributed wide, so you'll be able to buy it. You can pre-sell it, you pre-order it right now at Barnes & Noble, Books A Million. I've seen it at Target. I think it'll be on Walmart.com. I'm not 100%. You can also pick it up at BookBaby, which is the actual publisher, so that supports me the most. It's very appreciated if you go to the BookBaby store and purchase it there. It's also on my official website, so if you go to harnishmusic.rocks, you can pick up a copy there. And I would never presume anyone would want my autograph, but some have asked to sign it, and I'm more than happy to do that. If you buy it direct off my website, I have those copies here at my house, and I can sign them and send them out to you. So more than happy to do that. There's also an audiobook. So I put the audiobook in pre-sale status on my website originally, but I went ahead and just unlocked it. So if you want to buy the audiobook for $14.99, it is on my website again. It will also be distributed wide to Audible and everywhere you might expect, but it's kind of a slow process, so it's taken a little while to get out there, but it should be out at all those in all those mediums by the release date of the book. So there's an ebook, there's a trade paperback 6x9, and there's an audiobook. I am like so stoked about the audiobook. I have always loved audiobooks, but this past 5 years, like I did a ton of driving for work, so I spent a lot of time on the road, going back and forth to home to work, and I listened to a ton of audiobooks and just truly fell in love with them. They're an art form all of their own, and I think they can be really engaging, really scary at times. And so I just tried to bring all those things I love about audiobooks into mine, and I think it turned out really, really cool. It's weird because I narrated it, and it's hard to listen to yourself and judge yourself. But anyway, I think it's good. I did it at Oakwood Studios, same place do all the music albums, and Adam engineered it and did a fantastic job like he does with everything else that he touches. So please give it a spin. And I am trying to build some reviews and ratings on goodreads.com. So if you'd like a free copy of the audiobook to check it out, to give me a review or rating, whatever your honest opinion is, again, just DM me, email me. More than happy probably to give you a free copy of that if you want to check it out, and let me know what you think. On February 12th, I know it's probably backwards right now. I'll have to mirror this. Hopefully I can figure that out on the editing software. But I'm going to be at the Vintage Toy Mall on February 12th from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. That is in Broken Arrow, 530 South Elm Place. So I'm going to have copies of the book there. Again, wouldn't presume you want me to sign them, but I will be there to sign them. If you'd like to buy a copy, I can do that for you. Also, Andrea Shirley, bassist for Harnish, also does vocals on Some Killers. She is going to be in attendance, right? And we're also going to have CDs. We'll have our whole catalog of CDs for $10 each. And Andrea will sign things if you want her to. And I don't know about, I would want Andrea to sign stuff for me, so I'm sure you do. So even if you don't come see me, you've got to come see Andrea, right, at the Vintage Toy Mall. And the Vintage Toy Mall, is fantastic too. By the way, I went in for the first time recently, and it's like such a trip down memory lane. Every toy, every just cool thing that you remember from childhood is in there for sale and at good prices. There's all kinds of individual shops in there, and they have such cool stuff. So I'm going to bring some comic books and give some comic books away. When in Rome, just seems like the fun thing to do. But you got to come out, check the Vintage Toy Mall out on February 12th. Come see me, come see Andrea, take a look at copies of my new book, The Adversary, and maybe pick up some of our CDs while you're there. But just come hang out with us. We'll have a good time. Man, that is a mouthful, and I think that's probably all I've got for you tonight. So, episode 2, we're probably going to dive a little deeper into the book. Some of what went into coming up with that story and writing it for you. Some of it's pretty personal, emotional maybe. I'm not going to cry on my episode 2 or anything like that, but it's got some pretty heartfelt stuff in there. I wouldn't mind sharing with you if you want to hear it. So stay safe, stay warm, don't get out if you don't have to, but if you do, drive safe. Just remember, Harnish is often beautiful and always dark.